in the studio with My Morning Jacket, Patrick, Tommy, Jim. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you.
Congratulations so far on all the attention for the new album, Circuital.
Thanks.
Well, thanks so much.
It's going pretty good. Jumping right in, you guys chose to self-produce this time around. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I've co-produced it with Tucker Martine, who
Okay.
is a great friend of ours and a great set of golden ears.
What was the reason this time to take more control over it just yourselves? Or?
Well, I mean, I've always produced pretty much everything we've done. We've worked with a few co-producers, John Leckie and Joe Ciccarelli on our last two records, and I've just found since working with them, it's fun for us to have, we always call them the policemen, the policeman in the room that can be there to tell us, because sometimes you're in the heat of battle and you think you might have done a good take, but it's too fast or it's too slow, and it's just really cool to have somebody there whose ears that you trust that can wrangle us all into shape. I mean, on this one, we always knew we hadn't quite made the mark when we walk in, and Tucker's sitting there with his little notepad, and he's hitting his pen on his fist, and we're all jumping up and down. We're like, yeah, we did it. And he's going,
like, well,
I think you got a few more in you.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
The few records, the last couple records you had went out of town, out of state to put them together, but this time you come back to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason behind that one?
It just kind of happened. We had originally just set up to kind of woodshed some songs over at this beautiful church gymnasium that our friend Kevin Ratterman, who plays drums for Wax Fang and is Louisville's recording extraordinaire guru, had recorded in this room before, and I had visited him there and really just fell in love with the space. Felt like it felt more like a classic studio than it did a gymnasium. So we had just kind of decided to try some stuff in there, but then once we got in there, we were loving it so much that we just decided to keep going and make the record there.
Well, no, I guess it kind of plays into that, but some of the early press releases and especially some of the early reviews kept using that phrase, back to their roots, back to their roots.
Yeah, we hate
is that true?
phrase.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot stand that phrase. I mean, in some ways it's physically
We are
true
physically
or whatever,
back to
because
our
we
roots,
have
yes.
come. We were recording this record in Kentucky, but it's not like we're setting out to recreate our first records or anything like that. We still want to make. It's kind of cool because it's a new experience for us. This is actually the first record we've done in Louisville proper. We did our first three records in Shelbyville, Kentucky, which is obviously very close, but not the same thing. So again, this was a new. We always try to make each record some kind of new experience in some way, and this was a new thing for us to be at home.
Do you miss the silos?
No, I mean, we had our day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, we had our romance.
Yeah. So as far as the
I'm going to go on record as saying that this might be the most amount of dramatic pauses that we've had in one.
it's the pregnant pause interview.
Yeah, this is.
It's fine.
Let's just put one in here right now.
Do the critics mean anything to you guys? I mean, they're the ones using the back to the roots, and even I guess for the last album too. I think I was surprised in a lot of the critical review on the last album and ramping up to this one. Does that play into what you guys are thinking about when you're recording?
Yeah, no, you can't think about it when you. I mean, you can't say you're not affected by it because I think it's like anything else. It hurts when somebody says something mean about you, and it feels good when somebody compliments you. It's a pretty normal human emotion to feel those things when somebody's saying something about something you put so much time and heart into. It's your art and your work, and you care about it. I do think it's frustrating because I feel like a lot of critics can sit from afar and judge things, but they're not actually making work themselves, so they don't know what it's actually like to make something and deal with it. I mean, obviously some of them probably do, but I don't know. At the end of the day, though, it's like I feel like we can only deal with what we have, and I talk about that a lot, like trying to say we at some points would want to do concept records like this is going to be our reggae polka speed metal record, but at the end of the day, if you don't have any reggae polka speed metal songs written, you're not going to have a concept record that goes with that theme. So I've just learned over time that the life that we live and the songs that pop into my brain come in for some reason, and I try to respect that reason, and we try to build them into songs, and that's what we try to let it be, as different as it wants to be or as similar as it wants to be, whatever. That's just how the universe wants it to be.
And I guess when it all comes down to it, we don't release anything that we aren't 100% happy with. So I mean, at the end of the day, we're really happy and proud of what we do, and yeah, I mean, like what Jim was saying, harsh criticisms are always a bit of a dagger, but we're really proud of what we do and take great pride in it.
Was there many songs that
and we're redundant?
Was there many songs that hit the cutting room floor? Did you have a lot of leftovers for this one?
There were
a few,
3 or 4 that didn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah. What usually happens with those songs? You try to bring them back in later?
They're
or?
destroyed.
They're turned into hot dogs.
Yeah.
Turn them into sausages.
Uh-huh.
No, you don't want to see how sausage is made.
Yeah. They are the lips and buttholes. They're turned into sausages.
And now we have the title of the interview. Let's talk a little bit more about the album.
It was their fabled lips and buttholes interview.
Yay.
Highly controversial and often talked about.
You've mentioned art and concept. You're trying to get the train back on the track. That's going to be another theme here. It is interesting artwork, and I have no clue. Is there a story behind the green eye? Is there something behind this green eye?
There is, yeah. It was just a very magical gift given to me by a very magical person who I love very much. And the instant I saw it, I was just like blown away by it. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And it's when you turn it on, it takes 30 seconds or so to slowly light up green in this craziest way. We've got a video actually of it on our website now where it slowly lights up green, and when you click it off, it slowly goes away. And I was just like, when I saw it, I was just like, man, that thing on the front cover and off on the back cover would just be such a cool design for an album. So we just kind of went with that. But it's a magic thing. I feel like it's kind of like a mini Wizard of Oz.
Well, it's definitely played into the theme, especially for the videos online.
Wow.
And speaking, you have another video online too, and basically what it is the original song that you've taken "Holding On to Black Metal" from. Is that the right way to say that?
Holding on to black metal. Yes.
Yeah. So there's another song that you what inspired, or can you talk a little bit about that? Because this is it's a really cool song, and from a compilation record that I can't imagine how anybody would have found.
Yeah, there's a record label called Sublime Frequencies that we have a buddy named Sweet Tea who has turned us on to a lot of great music over the years. He lives in North Carolina and actually owns his own record store in Boone, North Carolina. And 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, he turned me on to a Cambodian Cassette Archives CD. There's this label called Sublime Frequencies that releases these collections of just lost and forgotten and bizarre music. And I fell in love with this Cambodian Cassette Archives thing, and ever since I had been looking for other releases by this label, and was out in LA a couple years ago working on something, and was at Amoeba Records out there and found another release by this label that was a Thai pop spectacular, they called it. And I got it and was riding around in the car listening to it and had like a similar reaction that I had to the Cambodian one, and just loved it. And kind of got hypnotized by the riff of this one song, and was listening to it on repeat over and over and over and over again. And all these lyrics and melodies started to come out of my head, and girls yelling black metal and all this stuff, and I was just trying to remember it all. So in essence, it's like the song was inspired by that. And when I made an original demo of it, I just used a sample of the song, and we were thinking about just sampling the song, but then at the end of the day, we decided it would be most powerful if we played it. So we kind of almost look at it as like a hip-hop sample usage, but we're actually playing it.
Yeah. I thought of it actually in reverse terms, with it just being a very folk thing to do.
Yeah.
As folk music used to do that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how many songs have the same exact chord structure, but they're singing about different things
right.
on top? Yeah.
Bob Dylan made an early career out of it.
Exactly.
Lots of people did.
That's true. Based on folk music. A few things coming up. You guys seem to have an endless amount of collaborations that just stream throughout the years. Should we expect anything like that, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've got our show at the Palace on Tuesday night, our album release show. And Erykah Badu's going to come join us for a few songs, which we were trying to keep that a secret, but it's been let out of the bag now. So that's the next thing coming up that we're really, really over the moon excited about. We got to play with her briefly once.
Did Tyrone?
Yeah, we did Tyrone together, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, her voice is just great. I mean, if you think her voice is good on record, her voice live is just insane. So that was something we wanted to make happen again, and yeah, I've been trying to tell her if she needs a new band, new backing band, to let us know. So who knows? Maybe that
could be a dream tour.
Seal the deal.
Yeah. Bonnaroo 10th anniversary.
Oh yeah,
coming up. Anything special for that one?
No.
No.
Not at all.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's always a special thing.
Yeah.
We're playing the main stage this year, which will be cool. We've never played that before. So I think we're just slowly trying to play every possible tent and stage you can play on the festival grounds.
I mean, what's nice is you guys were dubbed kind of the Bonnaroo band early on. As the festival rose, so did you, almost simultaneously. So it's seemingly fitting that you're back for the 10th anniversary. So
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I
Good
really
to be
look forward
back.
that one. Yeah. And last of all, you have a record label as well. Is anything going on with that one right now?
Well, that just kind of started as a way to release music that that we were into that was having trouble finding a voice and local music and different, just a way to help people get a voice that were having a hard time getting their music heard. Yeah, I'm just kind of fascinated by the concept and the ability to do that. So it's definitely a slow growing, small thing, just kind of a fun thing that we're trying to get off the ground. Just as an outlet and a voice for bands that we like to get their music out there.
Yeah. That's something you could see doing more intensely down the road?
Yeah.
Interested
I hope
in?
so. Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. Well, one more question, and we'll get out of this air-conditionless hot box that we're all in, that you guys have been stuck in all day, by the way.
Please
This is the silly
send
DJ.
help.
The silly DJ question. We were talking about it earlier, and I don't know if this is job specific, because most people, when they wake up or when they're dreaming, and they can have the "I was naked" dream or "my teeth were falling out" dream, and seemingly every DJ that I've ever talked to has a dream where nothing works and the music. Do musicians have that dream about being on stage?
Yeah.
Does that dream happen?
That's really weird that you bring that up.
Somebody else just asked us that a little while ago. About
Really?
the dream. Yeah, that's so weird. Maybe you were dreaming the same thing. We do, yeah, all the time. We have that dream where we're trapped in some basement dressing room and the band is starting without us and we're trying to find something and can't get up there. Yeah, Patrick's is the best.
I just had one last night, and it's kind of a reoccurring dream, but it's where I can hear the band start to play in the distance, and I run up on stage, and my drum kit isn't assembled. It's just in a pile. So I'm simultaneously trying to play it as I'm assembling it and looking at these guys like, I cannot believe you all have started without me. What is wrong with you? I thought we were friends. So it just, you just wake up in this cold sweat. So I don't know if the DJ equivalent is as nerve-wracking.
It is.
Yeah.
That's how I spent my last night. So
I've done
He's
a
doing it
little
right
bit
now.
of DJing in college, and I know that DJ fear from reality of when you're pressing a button and talking and nothing's happening, and there's dead air, and your station manager's calling like, "What's going on?"
The little-known fact today that Kyle Meredith is actually living his dream right now. And
I am.
He forgot to wear clothes today to the studio and is DJing naked right now.
And thankfully, I get a whole lot of pregnant pauses to have that part become a reality too. All right, thank you guys. Good luck on this entire album run, Circuital. It's going to be out in stores May 31st. Guys,
Great.
Thanks so much.
thank you.
Thanks for having us.